morning, Crusaders. I'm Zach, back and radder than ever.
And I'm Kelly, serving looks and news.
It's a totally awesome day at the ACS.
Now please rise for a moment of silence.
Teachers, go ahead and check that dress code.
Fun fact, Crusaders. The first CD ever made was released in the 1980s. It was by Billy Joel.
Rock on, Billy. Now let's crank up the day.
I'm here with Hayden, and we're going to do the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, I'm Michaela, and I'm here with Eden, and we're going to do the pledge to the Christian flag. I
pledge allegiance to the Christian flag of the United Kingdom stands, one Savior, gives a flag, England and communion with life and misery all release.
I'm here with Hudson, and we're going to do the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I'll make a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, and I will hide God's words in my heart that I might not sin against God.
Today's verse of the day is John 16:33. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world.
What's up, Crusaders? It's your boy Screech, and I'm here to drop the raddest sports scoop in town.
And I'm Jesse, bringing the heat and the highlights.
First up, let's give a major shout out to our track team. They crushed it at state like a boombox on full blast.
You guys ran, jumped, and sprinted your hearts out, and we are so proud. Way to represent ACS.
Now listen up, if you still got your uniform for any sport, bring it back ASAP. No joke, dudes and dudettes.
Don't be that person. Your coaches will thank you, and so will your laundry room.
That's the play-by-play from your Radical News reporters. Stay fresh, stay fast, and stay clean.
My favorite thing about Miss Nunley is that she's kind and she supports me when I get something wrong on like math or any schoolwork.
What is your favorite thing about Miss House?
She's my teacher. That's my favorite thing.
What is your favorite thing about Miss Bradley?
I love how kind she is and how she teaches us, and that she is very sweet.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Appleton?
My favorite thing about Miss Appleton is that she's kind and I love her.
Good job.
What's
your favorite thing about Miss Appleton?
My favorite thing about Miss Appleton, she's funny and she's kind.
Good job. What's your favorite thing about Miss Appleton?
She is the best teacher so far.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Warner?
She does funny stuff and she's nice.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Warner?
Fun games on Fun Friday.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Nunley?
That she's very kind and lets us do a lot of fun things.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Nunley?
She's kind and nice.
What is your favorite thing about Miss Rowland?
That she's sweet.
What's your favorite thing about Miss Rowland?
Because she's so sweet and she helps me learn.
What's your favorite thing about Miss House?
She's really funny and she always makes learning really fun.
Good. What's your favorite thing about Miss House?
She's kind when she teaches lessons, and I like that about her.
Good job. What's your favorite thing about Miss Bradley?
She's always so nice and we play more games than usual.
Good. What's your favorite thing about Miss Bradley?
She's really creative and she lets us do a lot of fun creative things and she lets us do a lot of projects. It's really fun.
Good job.
I love Miss Wallace because she is the best teacher and she is good at teaching us to learn and write. And she is also good at taking care of us in the classroom. I love Miss Wallace because she always teaches us stuff and she teaches us how to read and spell and learn.
I love Miss Wallace because we do class with her and she's really fun with us and she's really nice to us and she is a good person to me.
I love Miss Wallace since since she does fun things and she's really silly and she's fun to play with. And she's really nice to all of us. And we love her because we're her class family.
I love my mom because how kind she is. And the reason I like her being a PE teacher is because she gets to interact with more kids.
I love Coach Killingsworth because she's so kind to other kids and she loves to be with them and she's always kind to me.
I love Miss Killingsworth because she's always nice to us and she's never rude.
I love Miss Rowe because she can do fun things with us. And I like Miss Killingsworth because she gives us free times and I really like the laps. I love Miss Killingsworth because she lets us play games. And I love Miss Rowe because she lets us play games as well. I love Miss Rowe because we get to sing and dance. I love Miss Killingsworth because we get to play sharks and minnows.
I love Miss Rowe because her wedding looks fun and I'm happy she got married.
I love Miss Killingsworth
Because she does fun stuff.
What I love about Miss Rowe is that she always does fun games for us. And what I love about Miss Killingsworth is that when she lets us go to the football field and we get to do stretches.
I love Miss Vaughn because she does fun activities and sometimes she does little play-alongs where we get different jobs to do and it's like a little movie. I like Miss Vaughn because she does fun activities with us and she's nice. I love Miss Vaughn because she is. I like her classroom, but I like all her movie themed stuff, and I like all of her activities.
I love Miss Collins because she always has the best inside jokes with me, and she always knows how to make me laugh and makes my day every day.
Thank you, teachers, for all that you do. Y'all are amazing.
I love Coach Tucker because he's a very handsome man and he's a great teacher.
I love my mom because she is my mom and she takes care of me and she's a great teacher.
I love Miss Tolles because she brightens my day.
I love Miss Tolles because she is always looking out for every single student from the kindness of her heart. And she is an amazing person, and we all love her.
I would like to give my appreciation to Miss Miles because she's always opening the door for us. And even though when she's late on opening the door, she still does it. Thank you, Miss Miles.
I love Miss Rollins because she never fails to make me smile when I'm having a bad day.
My favorite teacher is Miss Cox because she's really fun and she always gives us fun games to play about chemistry.
Thank you, teachers, for all that you do for us.
I love Miss Tucker because she's a very kind and caring person and we just get along super well and it's one of my favorite classes.
I love Miss Giesland. She's just awesome.
I love Miss Rollins because she's the best teacher in the world and she makes me laugh.
My favorite teacher is Miss Collins because she is always honest.
My favorite thing about Miss Finch is that she made Washington, D.C. an unforgettable trip. Now we know that we're 60% banana.
Thank you for being a friend.
These are random facts about teachers, and you have to guess which teacher it is. Which teacher spent a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Williams? Was it Miss Stevenson? Or was it Miss Rowland?
I feel like Miss Williams.
I'd say Miss Rowland.
Miss Rowland? It was Miss Williams. Which teacher competed in the Junior Olympics? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson? Miss Stevenson.
Miss Collins.
No, it was Miss Rowland. Okay, which teacher was in a Powerade commercial? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Stevenson.
Miss Rowland.
Okay, which teacher spent a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Stevenson.
I already know.
It was me.
Okay, which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Collins?
Miss Rowland.
Wait.
Oh, Miss Collins.
Stevenson?
Okay, which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss Collins.
No, it definitely wasn't Miss Collins. It was Miss Stevenson.
I guess I'm gonna say Miss Stevenson.
I know.
Okay. Which teacher competed in the Junior Olympics? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Rowland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss Collins.
Which teacher took a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Williams?
Miss Williams?
What teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Collins?
Miss Stevenson.
Which teacher spent a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Williams, or Miss Stevenson?
I'm gonna go with Stevenson.
Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Williams, or Miss Collins?
Oh, Collins for sure.
Which teacher spent a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss William.
Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Collins?
Miss Collins.
Which teacher took a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Stevenson, Miss Rowland, or Miss Williams?
Miss Williams.
Okay. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Collins?
Miss Collins.
Which teacher was in a Powerade commercial? Was it Miss Stevenson, Miss Williams, or Miss Collins?
Miss Stevenson.
Okay. Which teacher took a week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss Rowland.
Okay. Last question. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Williams, or Miss Collins?
Miss Collins.
Which teacher took a week doing clown classes? Was it Miss Rowland, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Williams?
Miss Williams.
Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Stevenson, Miss Collins, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Collins.
Okay. Ava, which teacher took a week doing clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
I hope it's Miss Stevenson, just because I love her so much.
Okay, one more. Who worked at ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Rowland, or Miss Stevenson?
Was it you? Wait, I think it was you. Miss Collins?
Which teacher took a whole week taking clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Collins, or Miss Gieslin?
Miss Williams.
Okay. Which teacher worked at ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Collins, or Miss Holt?
Miss Holt.
Which teacher was in a Powerade commercial? Was it Miss Stevenson, Miss Collins, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Rowland.
Okay. Which teacher did an entire week of clown school? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Williams, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss Stevenson.
Okay. Last question. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Collins, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Holt?
Miss Collins.
Miss Rollins. Which teacher did an entire week of clown school? Was it Miss Holt, Miss Stevenson, or Miss Williams?
Ooh, Miss Stevenson.
Okay. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Holt, Miss Collins, or Miss Rowland?
Miss Rowland.
Okay. Gage. What teacher was in a Powerade commercial? Was it Miss Holt, Miss Bench, or Miss Stevenson?
Miss Stevenson. Miss Stevenson for sure.
Okay. What teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Bench, Miss Holt, or Miss Collins?
Miss Collins.
Miss Nichols. Which teacher took an entire week learning clown classes? Was it Miss Williams, Miss Holt, or Miss Rowland?
Mrs. Rowland.
Okay. Which teacher worked for ESPN Radio? Was it Miss Holt, Miss Collins, or Miss Williams?
Mrs. Holt.
Now for the closing prayer. God, I pray that we have an amazing weekend and that we can finish the year strong and that we show Jesus this weekend and until the end of the school year to each other. Amen.
Well, Crusaders, that's a wrap. Time to moonwalk into the weekend.
Remember, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God.
Stay rad, stay kind, and keep repping ACS with style.
Have a totally tubular, awesome weekend, Crusaders. We love you big.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Super pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Alright, I'll fall.
Look, yes, Christian. I don't know. What? No.
And I'm here to drop the raddest news sports in town.
And
news sports? What the crap is?
I don't think we have the same definitions of love, Honeyland.
What's up, Crusaders? It's your boy, Screech, and I read shit like drop the latest news scoop. The